it's Amanda here from Lolli Lulu Crafts, and today I'm making a card for you using this Kanban cardstock. I was actually going through some card to find some card for another project, and I saw this beautiful floral and I just fell in love with it. And then I saw that I had this lovely polka dot that obviously went with it. It was the same set, and I literally just had a couple of sheets of it. And I think this was some sheets that I got, if you remember a while back, I showed you a big haul that I got from a charity shop. I got masses of stuff, and they had loads of different odds and ends of cardstock amongst other things, and this was in that stash. So I have the name of it, but I don't know how old this particular design is or whether it's even still around, but I'm sure you can find something similar. But I just had to make a card with it. So let's get crafting. So this is an A4 piece of card, but Kanban always add an extra bit at the top which tells you that it's from them and the name of the collection and the specific name for that sheet within the collection. So I've just chopped that piece off the top, and then I'm folding it in half and scoring it, just using my score tool down the back to sharpen it, and making an A5 card base from it. Very simple. It's a really lovely heavyweight card as well. So next I'm taking the polka dot card. I just cut it down a bit so that it would fit through my Sizzix. I've got this beautiful Spellbinders die set. Again, as always, I will put links or names of, if I can't find links, of all the products used in this card on the blog post. So just go to the link below this video where it says show more, click on that, and then it'll open up and you'll see the link. So for this, I popped this through. You had like the outer sort of decorative die, then you had another little piece that you could put in that had like a embossing section, and then that left you a section in the middle that cut out as well, which I want all of those pieces. So I've just given that a bit of a bash on my machine because that I find loosens it up, and then I'm just getting the little extra bits out just using my fingers, but most of them came out, as you saw, either in the die or just all over my floor. And isn't that beautiful? As I say, I'll put the name of that on my blog post for you. Then the last piece that was left, the only bit that I hadn't used, was this lovely little filigree piece, and I took a sheet from the Kaisercraft paper pad that you saw at the beginning. It's got tiny teeny tiny writing sort of all over it, like text, and it's in like the pink and the sort of creamy tones that seem to match absolutely perfectly with the original pieces that we had got, even though it's a different company. So I just cut that out twice, so just to make these lovely little sort of filigree pieces. I just thought they were really, really pretty, and because it's a paper, it's a little bit harder to get out actually, because it's softer. It doesn't tend to bang out like a piece of card. Sometimes if it's really thin paper, you might want to put another piece, like a bit of wax paper behind it, and that'll help get it out. So then I'm stamping using, I think it was an Altenew set. Again, I will put what it was on the blog post, but I think it's an Altenew set, and it says thinking of you, and I used a Stampin' Up! Ink Rococo Rose, as again it just went really well with that. So then I wanted to add these little pieces to that tag that we used. That was the tag was the centerpiece that had sort of fallen out of our dies, so I stamped on that, and then I wanted to add these to it. So I've put a little bit of adhesive on the back of the two wings, and then a little bit of adhesive on the little kind of nose of our butterfly, shall we say. So the nose kind of goes underneath and the two wings go on top, and then just if you let it set, and I use the construction glue, it will set on there really strongly, and that will make just a really pretty addition to the tag. I like that it's in that different colours as well. It seems to fit really well, and when you see it with the floral piece, it looks really, really nicely. Now, as it happens, I had two pieces of this lovely polka dot, which I was pleased about. I mean, it didn't matter, I'm sure I could have found something else, but I thought it would look really nice to add that to the inside. Also, as you guys know, I always like to add a little bit of extra weight to the back, because you're always adding something to the front, and it just balances that off a bit. So I just added that polka dot to the inside, and I think that just looked really, really nice. So then we took my embossed frame there, and I've just added one single layer of foam. this is just some foam squares. They were a little bit too wide. You can get them that they're strips, but I just didn't have any left, or I couldn't find them. I'm sure I've got them somewhere, so I just cut them in half, these longer, wider strips, and just popped it all the way around the frame there. And then I knew that I wanted to attach this sentiment to the front there with the just flat adhesive, but obviously therefore I needed to add a foam to the center of it, so that when we stuck it down, the center of my sentiment didn't dip. So then that's just going to sit beautifully. So I'm now going to attach the sentiment to the frame. I felt that it was better to do it this way round. Initially I was going to put the adhesive on the actual sentiment piece, and then I thought no, it'd be easier to do it onto the frame. Obviously you just want to make sure you don't go too deep. With this sort of glue you can get away with being slightly narrow. It's not going to be a problem, it's so strong. Plus of course you've got the foam in the middle as well that's going to hold it in place, so it's not you don't need very much adhesive on those side pieces. Next I'm adding just a bit of glue. This is a glue pen from Hunky Dory, and I didn't just go around the square, I literally did all of that frame, every single element of it, so that it would stick down properly. I'm fussy. You may not mind if it, you don't do every bit, but I like to do every single part of it when I'm sticking it down. Another way of course is to do my dunking method. If you've seen, I think even probably last week's video, you'd have seen me do that with the Christmas dies, sentiment dies, but also of course you could use a spray adhesive as well, but that worked fine. It was pretty quick, it didn't take long at all to do that, literally just a minute and it was done. So we pop that down, and that by the way was, as you saw, was cut out of the polka dots, and you can still see the polka dots there. And of course the beauty of this is because you've got it fitting inside itself, it's very easy to put that together. You can easily see where it needs to go, and just popping it up like that just gives it a little bit of dimension, but it's not so much, I think, that it really affects your postage. It's not so high that it's still going to go through, well certainly in the UK it goes through still regular post. And then I thought, well, it just needed one more little touch, and so I just added these beautiful pink gems, and then I added one in each corner, and obviously as you saw on the little kind of butterflies, as I call them, they're not really butterflies of course, but I can't think how else to describe them. So one in each corner, and then in the bottom corner, in the bottom right, I just added it as a 3 going up, just to again add that little bit of extra interest. I just think that sometimes it was nice, and the card's elongated, so I think it was nice going up the card like that. And there it is done, and it was a very simple card, but I think because of the cardstock it just looks so beautiful. In my opinion, I think it looks gorgeous. I was just so desperate to use the card somehow, and I've been wanting to use these dies for forever. So I hope you like this card as much as me. As you can see, a beginner can easily make this card. If you have the right materials, you can make a card that looks really, really pretty, with actually that isn't that complicated to make. So I hope you've enjoyed, and if you did, I'd be ever so grateful if you could give it a thumbs up. That really does help me with YouTube. What they do is they see that you like it, so they look at people that are similar to you, that have similar sort of tastes in videos, and then they will recommend my video to those people as well. So it gets me out there a bit more, and the more I get out there, the more I can make videos. So I'd appreciate that ever so much. And of course, if you haven't subscribed either to me here on YouTube or to my website, I'd love it if you could do that as well. So thanks for watching, and I will see you again soon. Bye for now. Bye.